Welcome everybody. Welcome into another Wednesday. TeamBoydTV Live. That's your boys. I'm your boy Big Q. This week going into the divisional round. This week we had an outstanding, fantastic wild card weekend, and we're gonna break it down. Me and my boys. Speaking of my boys, I'm joined by the Ravens Shogun JB. What's going on, JB?
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Glass. What's happening?
Chilling. And we also have the Sage Sports Glass that's in the building. What's going on, Glass? What's happening?
What up, fam? Big Q, JB, people out there on social media, we appreciate you joining the show. Let's go ahead and get it cracking.
Well, let's do it. So, man, listen, I didn't want to say it, but I did want to say it. And I told everybody last week, I said we are witnessing the end of an era. Nobody wanted to believe me. Everybody wanted to laugh at me and talk junk to me on Twitter. It is what it is. I'm going to tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed what I saw. Look, I knew the Patriots was going down. I knew they were going to lose. But the way they went down, Glass, with the pick six at the end of the game, icing on the cake. Loved it. So I had a good time watching that. The Saints got robbed again, right? The Vikings and the Saints. I don't know what's going on with that situation when it comes to playoff football. It's wild. We're gonna break that one down as well. We're also gonna talk about the hilarious situation between Mike Vrabel and Bill Belichick in the closing part of that Patriots-Titans game. I thought that was hilarious as well. What's going on, fellas, man? Everybody good? Y'all doing all right, man? What's happening?
All good, bro.
Yeah? You been doing okay, man? Waiting on that package, right? You still waiting on that package. You got to.
That's right. That's all good.
Things to go. Glass, what about you, man? Everything good with you on your side, man?
Man, other than this weather, I'm all good, man. I'm just trying to keep warm, bro.
Well, y'all want to start that first, man? Y'all want to start with this coaching stuff first? Or y'all want to talk about the games last week first? Let's start with the coaching stuff.
All right, man.
So we'll start. We know what happened last week. The Washington team, they acquired the services of Ron Rivera, who then brought on, I think it's official now, he brought on Jack Del Rio as his DC, right? And I forgot who we thought about bringing in on his offensive coordinator. The name came up earlier today. It don't slip my mind now. It'll come to me later in the show. But we'll talk about that. So we had that. Also, the Dallas Cowboys, they finally figured out what they wanted to do. They acquired the services of one Mike McCarthy. Let's react to that, JB. Mike McCarthy, he interviewed with Carolina earlier in the week, and then about 3 or 4 days later, he went down and spent the night at Jerry Jones' crib, and he ended up getting the job down there. First of all, what you think about that hire? Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy.
I think I don't think it could have been anybody. It could have been Bill Belichick, but just the fact that Jerry Jones is who he is, he's on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. So my thing is, and just to expound on what you'll be talking about, I think Jerry's looking for some type of scapegoat. I think he's looking for some type of somebody he can push around, but somebody also who gets some kind of championship pedigree, right? So he can say, I brought this guy in because of this, that, and the third, but also I need somebody who's going to not challenge me on everything. But what you think about that?
That's the thing. He don't want anybody challenging him because there's a lot of candidates out there that I believe that's better than Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy was the safe bet. It was a good bet, but wasn't the best bet. I don't know about him spending the night. Evidently, that shows me that that was your guy from the get-go, and you didn't want him to leave until he signed the contract.
Absolutely.
Could have been his only option for coach with a championship.
I don't know.
I just think he don't want to go for the college hire.
Right.
That's baby milk right there. And then he don't want to
Didn't Marvin Lewis go down there?
I don't remember him going down.
I think Marvin Lewis did he get a telephone
he
call?
was considered or had an interview for to abide by the Rooney Rule. That's
right.
Okay, so because I was like, who all did they interview? Because just like when we flip it over to Carolina, which I'm still a little bit in shock with what's going on in Carolina. So David Tepper, he's our second-year owner. He just finished up his second year as owner, right? Yeah. So, in his second year as owner of this franchise, he fired the winningest coach we ever had. But, we talked about his pedigree and his accolades last week. And but then he throws 7 years and was it $62 million at Matt
Could be
Rule?
up to 70 with incentives, yeah.
And Matt Rule out of Baylor. with no NFL experience. No, I mean, maybe college guys can come on here and tell me why Matt Rule was a good choice.
All right, let me go ahead. I'm a cape up from Rule.
Okay,
man.
all right.
I like Matt Rule. I understand he's coming from college, but sometimes you got to get a chance somewhere. Now, I do not agree with the 7 year. We said off air. I said between 4 or 5 years. I'm cool with 7 years, but it must be the guy that they want. Like I told Q off air, I've heard his speeches at Baylor. I just heard the one that he had on introductory. I think it was today at Carolina.
Right.
Hell of an orator. Like I said, I heard what he said. I could see players going through a brick wall for him. So he did well with Temple. He brought them from, I think they were only winning 1 or 2 games to back-to-back 10-win seasons. He did a hell of a job at Baylor last year. So just give him a chance. I do not agree with the 7 year. He got to show me something first, but I think that's a good hire. If you're gonna get rid of Ron Rivera, I think I like Matt Rule.
Okay, so we doing this, JB. We gonna go ahead and offer this coach now. The issue that we have in the NFL right now is that coaches are staying tenured at an average of what, 3 seasons? If we get 3 seasons,
they should get 3 seasons. They should.
Right. Well, we ain't even. In most cases, we're not even getting 3 seasons, right?
No,
so my thing is, Tepper has offered this guy 7 years. Okay. First is will this dude ride out that? Will he see 7 years? And 2, why 7? Like I don't understand the numbers. I don't get the whole setup. I don't understand what's happening right now. I don't get it. Ain't no test phase. Ain't no what's going on.
Well, I mean, unless he makes some sweeping changes to the team, because he should get fired if the same team do the very same thing. He shouldn't honor a year at 7 years,
right.
Because in my opinion, there's no justification for letting go of Ron, just for the simple fact that you did it for public opinion.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna fire a guy that's got a proven NFL resume and a couple of losing seasons. I'm assuming the first one when he got there, and then his last 2.
Right.
For a guy that has 0 NFL experience, just because he turned a few college programs around. And in my opinion, the conferences that he coached in wasn't really that they were in down years. You just had to be better than 2 or 3 teams in that college conference.
And
anyway, I just think it's a moot point.
Yeah.
It's a public opinion type of situation where you will let a guy go that's done everything that you could associate winning with Carolina for somebody that's done absolutely nothing but have a few rah-rah speeches.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I mean, we ain't see him holding that what's the name of that trophy glass, that crystal trophy. I ain't see him holding none of those up.
No.
College playoff trophy.
Yeah.
Man, listen, there's 126 teams in college, man.
I'm just
Come
saying.
on now.
Hey, Dabo Sweeney that had him for 2 of them in the last 4 or 5 years. Just saying. What's the other guy's name? Urban Meyer done won a few. What's the other dude out of Alabama? He don't. Saban. All these dudes got trophies to prove it.
We talking about Power 5 conferences.
All I'm saying is this.
Power 5 country. We talking about Temple and we talking about Baylor.
That furthers what I'm saying, Glass. If you're gonna give that kind of money and that kind of contract to a guy,
I'm not agreeing to that.
Okay.
I'm telling you once again, I like the coach, I like the hire, I just don't like the terms.
Okay.
No.
I'm thinking,
I don't like Carolina's the prospects, the process that they went to pick a candidate. I don't think they honored the rule.
All right, let me ask you.
I don't think they did. I think
let me ask both of y'all this.
Yeah.
Who do y'all want? Who would y'all want?
I
you can't go.
I thought we was going to interview Bieniemy. His name kept getting thrown around.
I agree.
Did he even have one interview?
Man,
no.
we're gonna talk about
that.
Did
he even have one interview? I don't think he had one interview.
Rooney Rule, please. No,
I don't think.
Hold up. In my opinion, Panthers went from sugar to shit. Just because, listen. You think in 7 years, Q, this guy gonna win every year of his contract,
right?
And the minute that he have a bad year in those years, even if they honor the whole thing, he should be fired.
Sure.
If that's what we're doing.
Wow.
Now it looks to me. If that's what we're doing,
that's what we've been doing.
Listen, if Ron Rivera didn't have a job for them 12 hours or so that he did,
right,
all right. I feel like it's simply because Tepper couldn't, because he made it clear in his welcoming press conference to Washington and he gonna keep being himself. He gonna stay himself.
Right, and that's why he got the job.
He looking for yes men.
Right. No, I
Somebody
think
that's gonna be grateful to him, indebted to him. God,
Ron got the job because Washington saw who Ron was, and they're like, "Oh, Carolina done messed up. We want this guy. We don't want him to change a bit." Then on the other hand, so I think what it is with Tepper, I think he want a clean slate, and that's why going a little while ago we had a big discussion about Cam's future, and I said, "Oh, I thought he was gonna be okay." This was before Ron got fired. And then I thought, okay, well, Ron got fired. Cam is still the man, right? Now, watching Tepper's moves lately, I don't know. And I don't trust Rule. I mean, he looking at Cam like, Cam is damaged goods. I don't want this name attached to me, right? I'm here for 7 years. I need to start fresh, and I got to find me a Lamar Jackson right now.
Why,
right?
why in the hell would Cam Newton at this stage of his career and what he done accomplished in his career start over something? What if Matt Rule want to implement an entire different type of system?
Absolutely.
Why would you want to start over? Do you know how many? I can think of a couple of quarterbacks that had different coordinators every year of their career in one place.
Yeah.
You never win anything like that. You constantly starting over, changing philosophies. It's just a mess.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a bit late.
There's a couple of them. There was what's the man's name in the Chargers? He had a bunch of different OCs.
Joe Flacco had a few.
Joe Flacco, Ryan Tannehill. It's been a few of them who had a bunch of few coaches and they never got a good footing because the thing was changing so much. But I don't know, Glass. I think this is controversial with what Carolina's doing, and I honestly think as a Carolina Panthers fan, I don't see things getting no better. I think this right here is bad. I think this right here is now. You know what? I thought the Ron Rivera firing set us back about 3 years. I think this Matt Rule hiring is going to set us back about 5. You know what I'm saying? I think
he'll have winning seasons the last 2 years of his contract.
Right. So listen,
just to have leverage to be get a renegotiation.
Absolutely.
All I'm gonna say is I always want a head coach to have 3 years to implement his system. I'm not gonna say next year is gonna be phenomenal. Y'all be in the playoffs and all that stuff. But I think give the man a chance, see what he could do.
Yeah.
You already threw the coach out the door. You gotta start where you gotta start with and see where you go from there. It might not be bad, y'all. That's all I'm saying.
It's bad. I can see if
how
you fire Ron Rivera and hire a guy basically.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Come on, man. That is the most ridiculous. You can't even compare that. That's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
We'll talk about this time next year. I want to have y'all.
Yeah, I might be singing different too. Let me get to the comment section real quick.
That guy gonna have work to do until he win 3 back-to-back, till he get a trip to the Super Bowl, till he coach of the year. Absolutely. I don't want to hear shit about no Matt Rule, bro.
And I co-sign every word he just not said. Everything he said is exactly what it is. That is the truth. That's what has to happen here. And I ain't saying he got to do it next year. He got to do it in 2020, 2021. Because Ron didn't do it. All I say is
give him a chance.
Ron didn't do it the first 2 years, right? But that 3rd, 4th, 5th year, he was doing it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Panthers guy at FSU is in the building. He says, Ron talking about 5,000 snaps. Allen needed 5,000 snaps before we could evaluate Allen. How many years does that take? Do the math. 5,000 snaps.
5,000 snaps.
Ron was talking about 5,000 snaps. He said Allen needed 5,000 snaps before we could evaluate him. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Come on, man.
I don't know. But anyway, I'm trying to think what else happened. So we talked about Dallas. And then Cleveland is trying their best to bring in Josh McDaniels, right? They're trying to secure Josh McDaniels. But let me go back to the track for a second, JB, because you just said something that I thought was kind of funny. I don't think Carolina, I don't think they did but 2 interviews, bro. As far as I know. I don't think they interviewed
the ones that went public.
Right.
All the other spots made sure that they let you know that there was some Rooney Rule consideration at least.
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Well, except for New York. So
Right. Yeah. So I say Rule is a good hire. Cam is on board and posted hints on Facebook and Instagram today that he's staying. I hope so. Like I said, as a Panthers fan, I'm a little shaky, right? I'm a little shaky. But this is what the coaching carousel looked like. We got Mike McCarthy in Dallas. We got Ron Rivera in Washington. We got Matt Rule in Carolina. And I say, who still need a coach? Cleveland still ain't hired a coach yet, right?
Yes, correct.
Is that the last team?
The only one.
Okay, that's the last teams. Okay, cool. So with that out of the way, let's talk about something fun. Unless you want to go to a story, Glass.
Not to mention his botch job in the Baylor Bowl game. Man, get out of here.
All right, Glass. Let's go to your story.
Guys, garbage.
I understand what the Rooney Rule was in place for. When did the Rooney Rule come in play? What, 2003?
Yeah, we're right in there.
Now, that's supposed to give you the increased opportunities for minorities to get a chance to get a head coaching job, correct?
That's what it's for. That's the whole purpose of existing.
As of right now, we got 4 minority coaches in the NFL. Now, we have, over 70% of the players being minorities. You got 4 being head coach, 4 out of 32 teams, right? Head coach, that's 12.5%. Then it. So tell me where the Rooney Rule come into play. You only got tell you the truth. Let's broaden it out a little bit more. NBA, NFL. Let me do the math right. 62 teams, 12 minority coaches. So what's the whole purpose of the Rooney Rule? Let me tell you, the Rooney Rule, it might have started off good being well.
Yeah.
But as of right now, if an owner's saying, I paid millions, if not billions of dollars for my team, I ain't gonna have nobody tell me who to pick and who not to pick.
Right.
They find them loopholes. I mean, they ain't even call it loopholes, it's tunnels.
I don't even think it's that subtle. I don't think it's that subtle. I think it's pretty on the nose, right?
You sit here and tell me who the hell when they said Joe Judge was the head coach of New York, I thought they were talking about the baseball player, Aaron Judge. I like they got the name wrong. Who the hell is Joe Judge? I still don't even know who Joe Judge is.
A
positions coach.
Yeah, position coach for the Patriots, right? But he got a blessing from the Godfather. He got a blessing from Bill Belichick.
Okay,
yeah. We've seen how that worked out over the years.
But you tell me, okay, so you gonna pick Joe Judge above Eric Bieniemy, Leslie Frazier, Byron Leftwich, Marvin Lewis, and what's the defensive coordinator for the 49ers? Robert Saleh?
Yeah.
You come on, man. You know what? Don't piss on me telling me it's raining. That's all I gotta say.
Well, this is my thing about it. And you said it earlier. Like they own the team. Like the people who instituted that rule was there. That was to satisfy the people. The NC. What is it? NCPA. What is it? The National
NFLPA.
Not the NFLPA. The black folks who NAACP. And people like that, right?
All right, bro, you got a hit on your black card.
Right, I was saying, it's for groups like that.
You better know that one, man. You gotta know that.
Any letters you need to know that one.
Right. But it's for folk like that, right? So we want to hush them up, say, hey, listen, we are giving these coaches a shot, and as long as they give them a shot, ain't nothing that you can really force them to do. You know what I mean? So that's why we talked about it last week. A lot of these coaches who were getting the calls were declining the calls. That's why I think the coaching situation this year looked very weird to me. Like, I didn't see a whole lot of interviews being done. Like I said, Eric Bieniemy's name was thrown around since like 4 weeks before the season was over. Right. And how did this man come out of this not having a job when he was the number one name on everybody's list? Right. No job. It's clear. They just satisfying that rule because they just want to make sure that they check the box, like we did do that, okay? But this is what we're really trying to do. We want to bring in Joe Judge and Matt Rule and people like that because because number one, the people, the ones that we really want, they're not available. What's the man's Cowher ain't available. These other legendary coaches ain't coming back. You know what I'm saying? So what do you do? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm not bad about it because I understand where it's coming from. I know that they saying we don't care. We just gonna go ahead and bring this dude in for an interview. And now that these black college coaches are saying, hey, we're not gonna answer the call. We're not gonna respond to the call.
Why waste the time?
Right. I mean, so that's giving them more ammunition to be like, you know what? We called these guys. We called the dude at Clemson, and we called the guy, at USC. They didn't call us back. You know what I'm saying?
It's not gonna change. They're always gonna hire these lesser qualified white assistants, and these failed white coaches. You're gonna give them second chances, and it's gonna get to the point where if and when they hire a black coach with a black staff, that's gonna be my next team.
Yeah,
that's gonna be my favorite team.
It is, right?
You know what I'm
If
saying?
that ever happened, you know what I'm saying?
I do want to say this though. I remember Hugh Jackson was the coach, and he had a hard go. And the guy that was after him, Kitchens, had even though his win-loss number was a little bit decent,
Yeah.
I think his season before he got canned was way worse because of the talent level.
Absolutely.
But I didn't hear a whole lot of nothing
Yep.
from people that was saying how bad Cleveland was or how underachieved they did.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Another thing too is that's why a lot of these teams lose. That's why the Detroit Lions had back to every 5 year back to back losing seasons because they refuse.
Yeah.
They refuse. Like, how you gonna have? What are you looking for in a great player? You get a great player, end up in the Hall of Fame. That guy know the game. He's a Hall of Famer. So no matter what color is a Hall of Famer, if he turned coach, transition to a coach, he could be on my staff. Eventually, a coach.
Absolutely.
Because he played. Now, why I'm gonna get a guy out here? Why would I get a high school coach that that's
it's crazy.
It's because he's my son-in-law or something.
Right. It is nuts, man. It is crazy. But you know what? I feel like the NFL gonna end up paying for this in about 2 years. I feel like wherever the state of the game is gonna be at in 2 years, this is gonna be the reason why. Right? Because caliber coaches are not getting opportunities. And you know what? The ones who probably couldn't change the game or elevate the game, they're gonna stay in college, because it's safe there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
and believe it or not, some of these owners that own a sports team, it's subsidized income. That ain't their main thing. They don't care. Right. Put Kyle over there. That's my grandson just turned 23. Put Kyle over there. Yeah, so that's his job. So you don't have to work for nobody.
Absolutely.
You know what? I know we got to move on, but I have to apologize to you, Big Q. A couple of years ago, we talked about Hugh Jackson. Since we talking about Hugh Jackson, I told you Hugh Jackson shouldn't even went for that job because it was a black hole. But then again, let's think about this. These jobs are few and far between for minorities, so it's like anytime you get an opportunity,
you got to take it. You got to take it. Hey, listen, your man who went to Denver walked into a trap. Like, what was his name? Vance. What was his name?
Vance Johnson.
He walked into a trap.
I'm sorry, Vance Joseph.
Yeah, he that wasn't a good situation. It was better than Cleveland, but it wasn't a good situation though, right? They just set the man up.
How you gonna inherit a bad team with no power to make change?
Right. But you know what?
I did the same thing with the Cardinals. Steve Wilkes.
Yeah. You
gave him 1 year, then you go to the college ranks and get somebody that ain't even 500 in the college ranks.
Right. Is my man still in New York? The dude who was the Jets guy. Well, is he still there, or did they replace him already?
Who?
What was the man's name? The gray beard. The guy, the coach in New York, the Jets.
Todd Bowles?
Yeah, is he still around?
He's still around.
He's still around. I think he's with the Buccaneers.
I'm just saying, but he's not the coach of the New York Jets no more. That's what I'm saying. Right?
No, they got cross-eyed Gates.
They got the bubble-eyed.
Who said he was rich as hell? He didn't care what people thought.
But I'm telling you, come back 2 years.
And Adam Gase. Now, why? Now you're gonna get rid of the guy. What did they do this year? What
got fired at Dolphins?
What exactly? So what was a man's record before Gase got there?
Oh, he was in Miami?
When Todd Bowles was the coach with the Jets, and then Bowles got there, and his record this year compared to Bowles.
No. I think Bowles was better. I think Bowles was better.
So why would you fire a guy who don't even know how to have a? Why would you hire a guy who don't even know how to have a press conference? Right. Can't even be president of the press conference.
Okay.
Had a worse season. What you fired the other guy for?
Exactly.
But
less
weapons. They don't care, man. It's subsidized income, man. I own a sports team. I don't even know what the hell goes on with football. All I know is I own the team.
But the good thing is, like on Sunday, all right, or in this case Saturdays, sometimes we still get good product on the field. And so we forget about that nonsense because we get good action, right? The wild card weekend was actually pretty exciting. I think I enjoyed the festivities for the most part, Glass. I think I definitely that primetime game on Saturday was the best one. I think out of the 4 games, the NFC games didn't pack as much punch as the AFC games did, but I still enjoyed that. I think it was a thrilling finish in what was the Seahawks game, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. But let's talk about these. Let's talk about these Patriots for a second, right?
All right.
So first of all, let's do this. We already know what happened. We know that that they lost and they lost in dramatic fashion. But let's talk about this. Did you guys enjoy watching Vrabel run the Belichick game on Belichick? Now that reminded me of watching Doug Peterson do the same thing in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and it drove Belichick completely insane. He hated it because there wasn't nothing he could do about it. But you know what? That's what you do when you institute that type of I don't know what you want to call it, that type of behavior in your coaches. They eventually they become head coaches and they come back to do it to you, right? I don't know. At the end of the day, JB, I think I told you the Titans was and they probably gonna have the hardest trek through these playoffs. They had the Super Bowl champions first. Now they got what's possibly gonna be the team with the reigning MVP on it next. Titans are looking pretty cool, JB. But we're gonna get into the picks later. But talking about the Patriots, man, what you thought about how they went out? And is that it? Is that you think it's going to fall apart? I think it's over.
You never can tell.
Yeah.
But what is a fact is that they didn't have it. They've been scrambling to get it since about week 6 or 7. It never came into fruition. They did the Antonio Brown thing. They did the trying to discipline to kill Harry in a way that if he dropped the ball, wasn't on his spot, he'd come out the game. They brought in Mohamed Sanu. They were trying to make it right. They just ran it. They just never had it. And teams caught on. They had a good first 6 weeks. They knew it.
They did.
They made headlines. They was supposed to
and they had a ferocious defense, which was going to carry them. That defense was going to carry them a little bit.
Supposedly.
Right. But I knew when we got to this part of the season, Glass, I knew that the armor was getting ready to fall off. Mm-hmm. And, all things are exposed. If you play 16 weeks of football, you got to see what's really happening at the end of that, right? You have to. If you ain't figured it out in 16 weeks, then you're probably in the wrong business, right?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So, go ahead.
It's funny how when you in the playoffs and you play the New England Patriots at home, something always gonna go wrong. Either it's the intercom system, walkie-talkies. Hell, it was the way I think they probably brought an artificial fog up in there.
It's like that every time they play a playoff.
I said, look at this BS right here. But I'm glad Vrabel had a scheme where he wasn't even going to try to get on the air. I'm just going to ground and pound this.
Yeah.
And Derrick Henry is that dude. I don't care what anybody say.
Yes, he is.
Now, with that being said, what that mean to Matt? What's his name? Matt Mariota. You might have to find him.
Oh, Mariota's done.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah.
With the game, I love the way it ended with the pick six, and I like the way with Vrabel just gave Belichick his type of handshake he give out to other people, like, all right, whatever, go and go up and run off the field. I love that, man.
That was good.
Congrats to the Tennessee Titans.
It was good. What about your boy JB? Your boy Deshaun Watson, man. Well, you know what? So I got into an argument here at the house because somebody here is a Deshaun Watson stan. I ain't gonna say no names. But somebody around here who live at this house is a Deshaun Watson stan, right?
Gotcha.
So, and I'm saying, JB, that this game got turned around because of one J.J. Watt. Now, I ain't going to take nothing from what Watson pulled off because it was spectacular. But if it weren't for J.J. doing what he did, he was big in this game. And I mean, and for the first time, Watson was able to take advantage of good things coming his way versus squandering opportunities like he usually do in these type of situations, JB. So, but they won the game. I still think it was really the turning point was like the first sack, strip sack from Watt. They really set it off. What you think about it?
I think J.J. Watt's impact was minimal.
Really?
I don't think he had I think
he was serious right now.
Yes, he was there for showtime. All the other guys, now maybe he was drawn to definitely. I was watching the game just like he was, so his impact was minimal. He was there pretty much for a sideshow. The play of the game, if Watson don't make that play, J.J. Watt don't play offense. Watson don't make that play, they lose.
Okay. Hold on, Glass. Hold on.
What? JB, you my man.
Hold on.
We there, bro.
So listen. Every other time that the Texans are in a situation like this, what's the problem? They either turn the ball over, Watson, he's shrinking in the spotlight or whatever, or they giving the ball away. They turn the ball over. So this particular time, they got 2 extra possessions, JB. So look, that's what gave Watson the opportunity to do all that spinning, dash, and running and all that. He had 2 extra possessions.
No, man. It wasn't caused by J.J. Watt.
One of them was.
Listen, man. Whitney Merciless did a better job than J.J. Watt.
Whitney Merciless was big in this game, so he was. But come on, man.
Number 2, J.J. Watt. He's a he's not as consistent as he used to be.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, definitely
he
not.
might have had a phenomenal game this year.
I thought he returned in this game. He was out for the
He had a
previous week,
phenomenal game
Yeah.
this week. He ain't gonna play like shit this coming.
Wow.
I didn't think he was all that phenomenal. He was there for
And
juice
what?
purposes.
And of course, I agree with JB.
Yeah.
Was it for that play that Watson did, they would have lost the game. But I'm gonna blame this on Josh Allen.
Oh,
Right.
Oh,
He a rookie player. He ain't a rookie, but he played like a
Second
rookie
year
in
He did.
playoffs.
yeah.
The moves he was doing. No,
He was playing Madden, bro. He was
man, dude. He was playing hero ball.
He
He's sitting there
was.
trying to save the day.
It was hilarious.
Just take what the defense give you, dink and dunk if you need to do that.
Yeah.
But the one play that ticked me off is when he was running down the sidelines. Then he gonna flip it, do a basketball.
You know what he reminded me of, JB? And watching him in this
man.
game, like the first half of the game, he was kind of calm. But I'm telling you, but then like when they made a run, that's when he got nervous. He started unraveling, bro. You know, he reminded me of Johnny Manziel, like just going completely rogue and off the script. And I was like, what in the hell is this little guy doing?
I like what I see in Josh Allen, but he gonna learn from this. He gonna be better. But that game,
that play, the flip play.
Oh.
Good, man.
I was ticked.
Those type of plays never exist in any type of playoff atmosphere. That is something that's coaching right there.
It's definitely. I think he went off the script. I think he went rogue. I think he felt like, oh my God, like it's something. Like I done threw a couple interceptions in this game. It's on me. It's my fault. We're losing. I got to get us out of this hole.
See,
you know what
that's
I mean?
when Sean Dermott needed to step in and calm him down. And if he would have threw that play when he threw that play, that's when Sean Dermott should pull him aside. Like, you know what? You're going to sit out this next run. I'm bringing somebody else in until you learn.
In
You
the
don't do
playoff
no mess like that.
Do you know what
I've got to make a go ahead.
Do you know what have happened if he just gotten tackled?
Exactly.
Nothing. And he would have had a gain if he just had gotten tackled instead of trying to make a play.
It was crazy, man. I didn't know what was going on. I don't know what the man was thinking about, but I was on the floor laughing. I thought it was hilarious. I didn't know what was going on.
I put the game, the loss on his hands, man.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Solely on his hands. He basically gave the Texans an opportunity to win it.
A couple opportunities, I guess, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then you had the Eagles and the Seahawks, man. I actually didn't really give the Eagles much chance, but and I'm not. It's a dude who I work with. I don't know if you're watching the show tonight or not on Facebook or whatever. His name is Steven. He's a self-proclaimed diehard Eagles fan. I say that in quotes because I question some folks' validity when they claim that when they start claiming this thing.
Yeah.
Diego's in the building. What's going on, Diego? But he claimed he's a diehard Eagles fan. I told him, I said, listen, bro, I don't think no matter who gets this shot at Seattle, whether it's you guys or if it's Dallas, you're probably gonna get broke off something proper like. But then the thing that I told him that I didn't trust happened. Didn't trust not Nick Foles, Wentz, Carson Wentz in the spotlight in the big time. Carson Wentz ain't your man, JB, not your guy. Just saying.
Well, I mean. But to his credit, man, it was a.
Listen, you can't control things like that. I get it.
Well, I mean, they didn't call it, so I mean, it's a football play. If they didn't call it, I mean, people view it as however he could have pulled up this or that or third, but it wasn't flagged on the field. I mean, that's why you wear a helmet in this game.
Right.
Okay, so that happened. Listen, you left the game.
You can call it bad luck, Glass, or in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know what you want to call it. It's just something about Carson Wentz. When we get to this part of the season, I just don't want to put my money on. I can't do it.
I agree.
I just can't.
I agree.
I agree. What you think about it?
All right, let me ask you this question before I agree with you. Should they have kept Nick Foles? And got rid of Carson Wentz?
I said that last year, remember? I said that. Yeah.
Okay, so you keep Foles. Week 2, he's out with a broken collarbone.
You read about that. So that did happen, right? So that did happen.
Okay, so you can't predict injury, man. It just Wentz probably feel like, and to his credit and probably to his argument, he play hard. He out there, he take the risk.
He does.
He ain't pulling an Eli Manning. People get 2 feet away from him, he fold like a chair. He don't play like that.
Okay, well, riddle me this then, JB. Now, okay, look, we know we done lost Wentz to the concussion protocol, right? So you're the coach. You know your quarterback is out. But what happened to Sudfeld? Where we get McCown from? Like what? This Sudfeld, is he on the injury? Where is he at? Didn't he show up a little bit last season? I would have went with the. Ain't they backup quarterback named Sudfeld?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
What was? I'm like, what the hell, Josh McCown? I saw Josh McCown come out there.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
I thought he was gone. I know he was on the Bears last time I seen
I was
him.
like, what the hell is this?
He was a high school coach or something like that.
I don't know, man. So Diego said, don't say that too loud. Eagles fans been whining all week about pointing out the obvious. Hey, I'm just saying.
Which was what?
About I guess it was talking about
the Clowney hit. Well, I mean, listen, man. The rule is this, man.
Oh, he said the injury with Foles would have had the same success. They wouldn't have been able to have the same success. And you know what? People said that like a couple years ago when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm, remember the argument we had a couple years ago about the same thing? I don't know about that, man. And I still disagree with it.
The golden rule, which if you decide to pull the ball down and run as a quarterback, do not slide head first.
Right. Thank you. I'm like, yes, absolutely. Please. Absolutely. Hey man, before we move on, shout out to DK Metcalf. I knew that dude was going to ball out. Yes. He did a great job over the season. Yes. I think he should have been end of the second round.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody said he didn't have hands and everything. Yeah. He showed y'all he got hands, man.
Yo, listen, and so I don't even see my boy in the chat, but my boy C. McCarver's in the building. What is that? Okay, the team said Nate Sudfeld is still there. So, did he dress? I don't know. But anyway, he said, what was it? What was my train of thought? You was talking about
Metcalf.
Oh, talking about Seattle Seahawks 5668, who usually, he hold that thing over my head where I said that.
Yeah, 4-12.
4-12, right? So I'm thinking okay, I knew they had drafted Metcalf, but I never seen him before. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, really, did you think that the Seahawks would be here in July when we did that show?
No.
I'm just,
I'm glad. I seen DK Metcalf at Ole Miss. He dropped a couple of them, but it wasn't astronomical like they was putting out there. But nah, I didn't know he was gonna come out like this. I'm glad he balling, man.
He's balling. He's doing a pretty good job. Yeah, he's doing all right. All right, and then the last thing before we move into the new stuff was that Saints Vikings game, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I only got one game right last week. I think when we did the show, I might have went. I think I picked the Titans, and I think every other team I picked to win actually lost. I didn't see. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't see what happened in New Orleans happening. I just didn't. I didn't see it. It's just.
Y'all had asked me who I thought was the most dangerous team in the playoffs in the NFC.
You did.
You did.
But it come with a couple of mysterious things that happened in that game.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that video you sent me, but about that, I didn't see that live, right? So I don't know what context of the game. So JB, I was at work. So I'll be watching the game in snippets at work.
I knew you were at work.
So too. JB sent me a video of the Russian, the Russian touchdown, which they showed the camera angle where he didn't cross the plane. So I don't know what context that was in because I didn't see. I wasn't watching it live. I didn't get to see it. You know what I mean? But did they count as a touchdown?
It counted.
Oh,
it counted as a touchdown. There was a run down the field where the Vikings had the ball, and they were trying to get a first down. They threw a pass, and he was clearly didn't get a first down, but they gave it to him. And the next play, they're gonna do a replay on the next play. I'm like, nah, you should have did that on the play before where you gave him the first down. So referees messed up the whole game.
And Rudolph pushed off for the game winner. I mean, so many things. I ain't making no excuses for the Saints. I'm just saying that.
The Saints fans are salty though.
I'm just saying if you're gonna call the game, okay. So Lattimore, the cornerback for the Saints, go out the game for whatever reason. On the very next play, on the script, seemingly, they Thielen get the big game. A couple of plays later, that's the come on.
Yeah. So
and Breeze had the strip sack, which is if you look at that play.
Well, I feel like
it looked phony baloney to me, Glass. I'm just saying, it don't look right.
I feel like that right there was pretty much the best we're gonna see from the side. I think that window was.
Saints ain't gonna come back.
I think they're done, man. I really don't want to say that, but I think that's what it is. I think they are, and I actually think that the NFC South is gonna look a whole lot different come next season. It's gonna look real crazy because I'm telling you, I don't think Sean Payton. I don't know what's going on with Sean Payton. I don't know, but you got JB's boy, Tampa Bay. He ain't gonna be there. We don't know what's going on with Cam.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's gonna look a
Hey,
little weird.
he's the passing leader, man. People
He-
need to get on
he-
board.
he a
Try to
leader.
get in the 30-30 club.
He's a leader of something.
Lead of a lot of categories.
I mean, y'all don't see 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. All you see is
There's
the other
interceptions.
side.
I see
Yeah.
the 30 interceptions, bro.
You don't see 5,000 for 30.
Where they at? Did they make the playoffs?
Yeah. Did they finish at 5? Did they finish over 500?
That's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Passing leader, Jameis Winston, 5,000 some odd yards, 30 touchdowns. Hey, y'all,
Okay.
yeah.
But you admitting them like, okay, that's okay. You just like them ESPN cats. You carved the stats up a certain way.
It ain't carved up. That's hard. I'm just failing to mention the third. I mean, look,
you
it's a lot
failing
of
to
guys on
mention
that
it.
list.
That's what we do.
A lot of guys on that list. I mean, he leading, but I mean,
Okay.
Baker was on there with 21.
I mean, you know,
Phillip
Pat-
Rivers on there for 23.
Ellen was trying to get
Trubisky's
on
on
there
there
too.
for a little bit.
Yeah, you know.
And they
Yeah,
all
I
didn't make the
suppose.
playoffs.
Well, I'm just
That's all
saying,
I'm
you
saying. I
can't.
hear you.
Everybody can't go, Glass.
Only 12.
No,
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you.
All right, Glass, set us up, man. What we got this weekend, man?
All right, man. We got some big games.
Because you know your boy McCarver's in the building. Okay, so you know his boy's coming off the bye.
Go,
You know what I'm
go
saying?
ahead, go on, set it up. Shoot, I think he's the first game. Yeah.
Okay.
Saturday, 3:35 p.m. Central Standard Time, we got the Minnesota Vikings going up to Levi Stadium to play the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, this-
Okay. Hey, look, JB, them boys coming off a bye. And you know the Vikings, they feeling some type of way right now, but this one is rough for me. I'm having a hard time with this one. I'm having a hard because not because I think that for anybody to get it twisted. I don't think that that the Vikings and the Niners are kind of in the same. I don't think they're in the same echelon of things, but
Okay.
it's a couple things though. Listen, they're not supposed to be here right now. They playing with church's money right now.
House
They
money.
playing with church's money right now, and the Niners coming off a bye. So it's crazy. Right? Like, I'm gonna defer to you, JB. What you think? What you think?
Well, it'll be a decent game for all of probably 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
They took a beating. If y'all watch that Saints, Saints was laying the wood every chance they had.
Yeah.
So they're a bit banged up. They had to play first. They had to go to a hostile environment. I don't know what it's like over what a 49ers play, but I know their fan base is pretty rabid. So just the X's and O-wise, skill-wise for San Francisco, no way. Not with what they present.
It's crazy, man. And they're going into some super hostile environment. Bronco Fanatic is in the building. Josh is in the building. What's going on, fellas? Welcome to the show.
I'm taking San Fran, by the way.
I glad them boys look. They feeling themselves right now. They're going into some hostile environment, and these Garoppolos, they ready to go. They've been chomping at the bit for like a couple weeks now. They ready to go. It's gonna be good, man. What you got on it?
All right, man. I've seen a lot of people picking the Minnesota Vikings. I don't
Did
know
you
where
really?
that's coming from. Yeah, I've seen a lot. I was shocked. But anyway, my pick, Minnesota. Congratulations, you made it to the second round of the divisional weekend. Congratulations, hand clap. This way,
look
is
golf
right
clap
here.
action. Shit.
Yeah,
Cousins played a good game. I can't see him stretching out to this week.
Yeah.
Like JB said, they've been sitting back in the cut with this bye week, getting healed up. Minnesota a little bit banged up. That defense, I can see Robert Saleh. I think I name right. The defensive coordinator for 49ers is just throwing the kitchen sink at Minnesota. They at home, Rabbit fans. We're gonna see what we're gonna have in Garoppolo. I know Bill Belichick is kicking himself in the ass for getting rid of him, but
it
it
wasn't him. He tried to keep him. It wasn't him.
I hear you. And I think George Kittle's going to have a hell of a game. So I got
right.
the 49ers on this one.
So I watched Dalvin Cook struggle. They had to give him a touchdown. His struggles were so mighty in the Saints game. There's not a lot of room to run on San Francisco.
It's really not.
There wasn't a lot with New Orleans. It definitely won't. It'll be less.
Yeah.
Against that defense. So,
man, you know what? I don't think. I don't even know what the spread is, but I really don't think that nobody should have Minnesota as a favorite going into this game. But
there's a lot of people.
It's 9 points. It's 9.5. It's ripping up to 9.5.
Oh wow!
Okay.
I don't know. I think me personally, I just think that's don't really trust so much that quarterback in San Francisco. But you know what? But I think that that their defense gonna hold them into it. They take care of the ball pretty good. We got Kirk Cousins. Like, look, it's a time for him to really like flip out and have an awful game, Probably, right? But just like y'all said, congratulations to the Vikings, man. They look, that's an achievement doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? But I don't think they're ready for this one. And again, the boys been sitting back
guess
for a
what
week.
else? So this guy go 0-6, 0-6, 0-9, I guess 1-9 now for primetime or big games.
Yeah.
And you expect this guy to go on a streak in one season? Hell no.
I can't do it.
You got one, you got the money. Now, granted, the game at 3:30, it ain't quite a night game or primetime.
It's a big stage, though. It's a big stage, though.
0-6 and 1-9, just period for big games.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. So Panthers guy said he's taking the Vikings in this game.
Yeah.
I would love for you to collaborate on that, but you know what? Go ahead. I ain't doing it. I hope you put no money on that.
That's what I was about to ask. I'm about to ask.
Right. We put no money on.
I'm gonna find you, bro.
Josh said that Cousins a 50-50 chance to either whoop ass or nah. Cousins he's gonna be small in this game.
He shot his load. It's over with.
Franco Finesse said, I think my brother gonna cry if the 49ers lose. Man, look, the 49ers fans have been waiting on this one for a few years. Like, this is their time to shine.
Look, man. Cook didn't have a good game.
Mm.
Diggs had to throw a fit to get a ball thrown, and he had to force one to him.
Yeah.
If I got killed for catching it, but he got you couldn't get open. This was against the Saints.
Right.
Telling you, it's
hey, but Panthers got FSU sticking to his guns. He got the Vikings in the NFC Championship. Okay, where we going next, Glass?
Oh, who's that?
Panthers got FSU. But he said they'll lose the NFC Championship.
Let's move on.
And he's still stunned by this Matt Rule sign. I get it, bro. Got you tripping, bro.
Saturday night at 7:15 p.m. Central Standard Time, we got the Tennessee Titans going up to M&T Bank Stadium to play the Baltimore Ravens.
Another situation where some boys feel good about themselves. Them Titans, boy, look, and I'm telling you, right, they did that with a little bit of style. Ryan Tannehill, can we take a pause and like look at Ryan Tannehill become a man right before our eyes? Y'all see this? He grew up right in front of our eyes, man. But man, they don't know what they're going. The Ravens, they got to be at home, right? Because they come out, they're number one seed. They're at home, right?
Yep, they're at home.
Ow. Listen. I said Titans would be the most dangerous team in this playoffs, but that was like a wild card round. I'm just saying. You know what? I ain't felt like this about a team in a while, but this looked like the Ravens kind of got everything kind of set up for them. I ain't saying they're gonna win the whole thing, but man, they put on a good show this season, and it ain't gonna stop right now. I think this is gonna be probably the game of the week. I think it's gonna be great. Yeah. I think what we saw with Tennessee last week, they feel good about it, and they should, because there was a good outing, and they knocked out the Super Bowl champions. So they should.
They beat their reputation. They didn't beat nobody. They beat the reputation of the Patriots.
Okay, now that
they didn't beat nobody.
There's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that. They beat the specter of the
lore.
Right.
I mean, because Miami won by more when they was there just a week prior.
You're absolutely right. You're right. Yeah, you did. So I don't know. I think the Titans, they're gonna walk in here, man, feeling all, full of piss and vinegar, and them boys, them Ravens gonna make them look silly. But you know what? Again, valiant effort last week. They did what a lot of people, a lot of people didn't think they was gonna be able to do. But I think the end of their run is right here in Baltimore. That's where it ends at for Tennessee. That's my pick. I got Baltimore on this one.
Well, let me take a glass.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be last, so you don't think I'm sitting here being a homer.
But you are, and it's all good.
But Tannehill had 17 pass attempts for under 100 yards, right?
Yeah.
14 points. Your boy ran for $180.
Yes.
Only could muster up 14 points.
Yes.
Ravens beat this team by 17 that they struggled against. Okay, so I'm just saying the numbers don't support this case that I've been hearing about the Titans all week up to this point.
Yeah.
Trying to rent some doubt in my head about, we faced Nick Chubb blasted us for about 200. And now we've faced a whole lot of other runners. I mean, Derek kind of his own guy. Don't get me wrong. I can't really compare Derek Henry to anybody.
Right.
His own style right now. We take that because everything that they do predicates off how well Derek running. They play actions go off of it. They splits. Everything work off how well Derek is doing.
Yeah.
But them 17 attempts, if that's what you're going to do, or if you cut that in half, Tannehill's going to have a bad day. Titans going to have a bad day.
Yeah.
So I got us. I'll take the 9. I won't be disrespectful.
Okay. And I mean, at least you kind of, at least you're showing a little bit of respect to that run game.
Right.
You show some respect to that run game, which you should.
Right.
But everybody know that's all that the Ravens thinking about. Oh no, Derrick Henry, he ain't getting no 187, 200. He ain't doing that against us.
You can have 180 if all you're gonna produce is 14 points.
I'm gonna let the Ravens. They don't even want that. They don't even want that dude getting 100 at all. You know what I mean? But anyway, Glass, where you at?
Man, listen, Derrick Henry, Tennessee Titans, just like the Minnesota Vikings. You playing with house money now. This is where it's gonna end right here.
Yeah.
Baltimore defense going to stack the box, going to slow down Derrick Henry, and they're going to look at Tannehill and say, all right, we know you ain't going to do shit.
Right.
So try your best to do whatever you can do because we know what you about.
Oh, yeah.
So unless Tannehill just have a phenomenal game, this game's not even going to be close. I got the Baltimore Ravens.
I think it's ironic that every time we played the Titans in the playoff, it's never been about their quarterback. We had Eddie George one year. We had Chris Johnson in the playoffs one year. And now it's 22.
Yeah.
The quarterback is always garbage. It's never about the quarterback. It's always about the Titans defense. If you sleep on them, they'll get you. But it's always been about their defense.
Ravens red zone. You being real disrespectful. He said 38-13.
Hey, wow. I was gonna say something. I'm gonna take the 9 and be respectful.
That is so disrespectful, man. I'm saying
38-13.
That what he got. Damn, it's disrespectful, man. Come on,
listening.
now.
I'll put you like this. I'm listening.
I'll be respectful, man.
Oh, come on, bro. All right, that's what we got, man.
Oh, man. Okay, next up, we got a Sunday night afternoon game, 2:05 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have the Houston Texans going up to Arrowhead Stadium to play the Kansas City Chiefs.
Now, this one I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this one. I wanted to see these two teams go at it. You know what? Because you got the Chiefs with nobody's defense, right? And you know what? The offense is not as potent as it was last year, right?
Right.
Not as potent as it was last year.
The last 5, they turned it on. Man.
Were they scoring 55 like they were last year?
Nah, not quite 55, but it's been pretty easy for them.
So I don't know. It's just and then watching the Texans last week. This one's gonna be good, man. And honestly, if this was last year's playoff matchup in the divisional round, I wouldn't have hesitated and gave this one to the Chiefs. I wouldn't have hesitated and gave it to the Chiefs. This Chiefs team, that defense, it scares me, especially in playoff football time. And I can't trust them. I can't trust them. I can't trust them to slow down Deshaun Watson. And look, I'm gonna go on the limb here. It might not be the popular choice. I know there's a lot of my homeboys out there, but I like the Texans moving on here. I do. I'm just saying, Glass, what you got?
Okay.
Don't trust that defense,
I get what you're saying. I ain't gonna say a trip. Houston, they're a legit team. They balance. I ain't gonna say that they're the best balanced team, but they balance. I think the key factor for the Chiefs, I know the defense has been shoddy, but I think the pickup of Tyrann Mathieu gonna change the aspect of that secondary. I think Watson ain't gonna be able to throw like he used to. That being said, I think the Kansas City Chiefs offense is just too much for him. I think Kelsey gonna have to. He had a bad game last at the end of the season. He gonna have to make up for it this game. I think he's gonna do it.
Nightmare for the Texans.
Exactly, and I can't remember what's the running back name for the Chiefs.
McCoy.
He's not McCoy. I'm not the wide receiver. That's what.
Wide receiver.
Little short, speedy guy.
Oh, Tyreek.
Yeah. Thank you. He gonna ball out. Right, exactly. He gonna ball out. So I hear 17
and man, 17 that came out of nowhere. Not quite out of nowhere, but
right.
Harmon.
I hear what you said, Big Q and everything, but if it was at home, I might have been having another story.
Yeah.
It's at Arrowhead. It's gonna be cold. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the KC.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like Bill O'Brien got a little something to prove, and I feel like I don't know.
It's having something to prove and doing is two different things.
Right, and you know what? You know my whole thing, man. When it comes to playoff football, man, if I can't trust your defense, man, I can't roll with you. I'm sorry, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. All right, Jamie, where you at with it?
In the playoffs, or anytime you going into somebody else's stadium, you take two things with you: as your defense and your run game, and both of Houston's are suspect. I don't think their running game was. It had no impact on the game. They just won. It came down to a couple things.
Yeah.
But I don't believe the defense going to be able to withstand Kansas City speed, and they can't run the ball against KC.
Right.
They couldn't run the ball against Buffalo.
Yeah. Look, y'all both got valid points.
KC.
Okay. You know what? And I hear y'all's points. I'm staying on mine. You know, and not because the other person who live here is a Deshaun Watson stan. Nothing to do with it. I don't know. KC. Look, okay. And I don't know. I just feel like we're putting a little much on Mahomes too early in his career, and I feel like he need to earn some stuff. You know what I'm saying, right? He need to earn some things. You know what I mean? Even though I know some of the other dudes on this team, they want this thing to kind of go quickly because they won't be around that much more longer. All right, Glass. The last one.
Did the game go into overtime with the Buffalo Bills and Watson?
It did. Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about name the number one receiver for the Buffalo Bills. Okay, my point exactly. So they put the game into overtime. Now we talking about Hill, Watkins if he gonna play, 17. Kelsey was a nobody on the Texans team, and they even in the second level could really stay with them. Yeah, it's gonna be raining points, man.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying they can score quickly, but can they stop the other opponent? Can they do that? So that's the question. Listen, I'm not taking none of their offense. They got weapons. I mean, but if what your logic is saying, they shouldn't need no more than about 54 seconds for a drive, and so.
It'll be probably that easy. I think what the Texans will be they need the running back to have a game, and they need Fuller to play. He need to play. He has to complement Hopkins, but he's gonna be bracket covered. Yeah, it's gonna be all on a no-namer, and he gonna succumb to the pressure.
I'll stay on my island, Glass. What you got?
I told you, KC.
No, I'm saying on the last game.
Next game. Okay. Sunday night, 5:40 p.m. We have the Seattle Seahawks going up to Lambeau Field to play the Green Bay Packers.
Wow. Well, I
don't know what y'all got to say about this.
I don't know if this was a hard game for y'all because honestly, I've been saying this all season. I don't think the Green Bay Packers belong. I really don't.
Oh,
okay. I don't think they belong at all. They're that one team who just you look at all the teams that made the playoffs. And they the ones that don't belong. They don't belong, right? Look, Aaron Rodgers and the boys put up some decent stats this season. Their defense was somewhere near the bottom quartile of the NFL, right? Offense ain't blowing nobody away. I think by virtue of what went on in their division, that's how they ended up here, right?
Okay.
And I mean the Seahawks gonna show them what time it is. This one is an easy one for me.
Okay.
JB, what you think?
Man, I don't like Green Bay secondary. I don't like Seattle secondary. Green Bay all of a sudden can run the ball and they throw to a tight end. That's unheard of.
Right.
But I don't know how they won 13 games either. I'm still trying to figure that out. It seemed like we've seen more Russell Wilson in the last back half of the season than we even thought about seeing the Packers, period. I haven't even seen a logo. Mm-hmm. But I like Seattle too.
Yeah, so that's what that is, Glass. What you think about it?
All right, man. How with number one, I'm living in Chicago, so damn sure I don't like Green Bay.
Right.
That being said, Aaron Rodgers ain't playing like Aaron Rodgers. I agree with JB. I don't know how the hell they got 13-3 record. Aaron Jones stepped his game up with the rushing. I think Seattle see that. They're gonna fix that. I think Seattle is one of the best road teams out there. They travel real well. Mm-hmm. They win them games. Just think about it. If it wasn't for the 49ers, they probably would have won this division. I know it's in Lambeau. I know it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold as hell. I know if it's cold here, it's going to be cold in Green Bay. I just think Seattle going to go up in there once again, come up out of there with a W. So I got Seattle on this one.
I don't think they're going to be able to take beast mode. If this is third game, this will be his third game back.
This is second game back.
Second game back. He'll have his feet under him better. Yeah. Hopefully Pete Carroll managed the clock better or the timeouts play clock better. But I don't think they're going to be able to deal with. I think Beast will have his.
I was worried about them last
welcome
week,
back
man.
Part of this game.
Bringing them two running backs in off the couch. I was like, man, that was scary to me, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't like that at all. But like I said, hopefully they have more of an impact in this particular game. But I don't know. It looked like the NFC Championship game is going to be played against two teams in the same division.
that been going total, been having some hell of a games this season.
That's gonna be pretty interesting to watch. You know what I mean? You know, and you know, they talking about the Super Bowl. You know what? I can't. These teams are still pretty good. I can't really talk about the Super Bowl just yet. I mean, I'm thinking it's gonna be really. I think it's gonna be a repeat of what we saw a couple years ago, with when down in New Orleans when the lights went out with Beyonce, right?
Baltimore and Seattle.
No, Baltimore and San Francisco. That's what I think. Right. But we still got some football.
Well, I mean, the AFC Championship, you know, we 0-2 against KC, so that
they got some football to play. So
hey, from right now, as far as like the pundits I've been hearing saying we ain't got it. They like the Titans. It's they're an interesting team.
I don't think so.
Nah, man. They just trying to make their money, man. That's
Baltimore's got to be the favorites, man. They got to be the favorites, but you know, we see what Houston got. If they can survive this one, then they worthy, right? Then they be worthy. They can survive this one, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, good show, man. Glad everybody who came out, even though y'all, you know, some people came in a little bit late. Y'all didn't get to hear. I know we had a couple Panthers guys come in. We did have a full discussion about the coaching situation earlier in the show. If you guys want to check that out, let's go back and watch it. It's like in the beginning of the show we did that. But again, I want to appreciate everybody who came out to check us out this week. We definitely appreciate it. We will be here, you know, Lord willing, next week to talk about the championship week is next week, right?
Yep.
So we're going to see who's going to knock each other out this week, and we'll see what's going on with that. With all that being said, JB, go ahead and put yourself over for your boys, man. Go ahead and do it.
All right. Well, look here. Better late than never for everybody joining the show. I guess you just wanted to hear about your squad. That's it. That's cool. That's cool. It's getting toward the end, man. Shots for everybody. Again, to everybody who stuck with us through the whole 16, whole 17, plus the postseason. You can always find me on here on Wednesday nights or on Twitter as Raven Shogun.
That's awesome, man. That's good stuff. And Glass, go ahead and put yourself over, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate everybody joining in on the show. I know a lot of names ran through there. I'm looking on the board now. Appreciate everybody joining the show. If you don't catch me here, my brothers here, JB, Big Q, TeamBoydTV Live. You can catch me on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, Sage of Sports, Twitter, Sage of Sports 1, and email me at thesageofsports@gmail.com.
All right, cool. And Team Money, I saw on Urban Arena. I saw on Urban Arena where you had your video up. I didn't get a chance to look at it because I was so busy setting up the show for the night. But as soon as we're done here, I will check that out. I'm interested to see what you think about this because, you know, your opinion on that Panther stuff is, you know, I like to hear what you have to say about a lot of things. For the rest of you guys, man, thank you guys for joining us. You know, people whose teams are still in it, keep rooting, man. Look, Ravens Red Zone and Diego and C. McCarver and Seahawks 56668. Who else are we missing? I know my brother Clea. He is beside himself with his Titans right now. And everybody whose teams are still playing, man. Good luck, and we'll see y'all next week and see if you guys made it. All right, y'all take it easy. Y'all been good. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.